Hey, yo, Miggy, what's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Miggy Talkz. I'm your host with the most, Miggy, and welcome to episode number 5. In last episode number 4, I was sat down and I got to talk with my grandfather, and we were just discussing some pretty interesting topics, and he was telling me a little bit about himself growing up. And so if you want to go check out that episode, you can go ahead and find it in my YouTube channel at Miggy, which is Miggy. But for this episode, we're just kind of going back to the basics, and I'm just going to tell you about things that's kind of been going on in my life and what is new, what is different, and shit like that. So in episodes 1 and 2, I was attending Feather River College, playing baseball and studying to get my business degree. At the end of the first semester, I decided to transfer over to Mendocino College, where I continued playing baseball and continued getting my business degree. Mendocino College, it's still in Northern California, only a little bit more towards the coast. When I was there, it was pretty much a brand new start all over again. Even the transition from Southern California to Feather River College, which is a humongous transition, it was completely new. I didn't know anybody, I had to make brand new friends, but one thing's for sure, the connections and the friends that I made at Feather River College, like, I will never forget. Like, the people there, the community, they're amazing. The coaches were awesome. Teachers were pretty cool. But as far as, like, fellow classmates and teammates and even friends that played on different sports such as football and basketball, like, those guys were just... It was always a good time at the Feather River. So I'll always be a dirty bird at heart. But transitioning over to Mendocino College, like I said, it was a brand new experience. I had to make friends from day one. I did move out there to begin with one of my teammates from Feather River College, because both of us were gonna transfer over to play ball and all that. But literally the second day that we moved, he decided he didn't want to go anymore. And at the time, it was really hard to find a place to live, because Ukiah is a really competitive market to get a house and find a living space, especially somewhere where it's really close to the campus. Because the thing about Northern California is that all the towns are pretty well spaced out, maybe like a good 30, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour space in between the towns. And so finding a living space was hard, but luckily, me and my teammate, we were able to find a trailer park. So we got a trailer. We were borrowing my teammate's grandfather's trailer. We were staying there, and my teammate, he had a dog with him, which was a really, really big dog. And so if you think about it, 2 college kids and a dog living in a really small RV, like, I kind of saw it from the start. I was like, I don't know how this is really going to turn out, but I mean, we just kind of have to play it out and see what happens. But like I said, on the second day that we were there, my teammate decided he just didn't want to continue playing baseball or go to school or anything like that. So he decided he wanted to just get up and leave. And so he did. He packed up all his shit and just biggity bounced. So I was able to call down his grandpa and ask him to see if I could keep renting out the RV for about a good, like, week or month. And they agreed to that. So for about a month, I was living in that RV all by myself. There was no heating, and the thing about Northern California and Ukiah especially, you'll wake up in the morning, and it'll be probably like 30, 40 degrees outside, and with no heating and with the RV having cracks all over it, it got cold as shit in the morning. And that was really a struggle at first, but as time kind of went on, I guess I got used to it, and so it wasn't too big of a problem. But yeah, I would wake up early, go to the gym, meet with the coach, go to practice, go to my classes. Everything was cool. And then I was looking for a place to stay, and it was just not happening. Like, everywhere I looked, they just weren't renting to college kids, or the rent was way too expensive. And so when he came to pick up the trailer on that very sad Friday morning, I was officially homeless. And I was on my own, 9 hours away from my home, and in a place where I basically didn't really know anybody. So yeah, I was a little bit stressed out, but I was able to build some really tight connections with a couple of my teammates on the field, and we were able to agree that they would let me crash on their couch pretty much under the radar till I could find somewhere to stay. But eventually that kind of just turned into me just living under the radar. I kind of pitch in like my third of the month of the rent every month. And, I mean, that couch, that was my bed for that entire part of the semester. And it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not ideal. I don't really have a whole lot of privacy, but I mean, fuck, you gotta do what you gotta do. So the semester at Mendocino College, it was pretty cool. Like I said, I got to meet a lot brand new people, brand new setting. It was a little weird at first, but I got used to the community. Um, as far as academics went, I was just enrolled in my statistics and business law class. My other classes were baseball and baseball theory, which pretty much was just practice. But the way my schedule consisted was I would have class every Monday and Wednesday. I would get up, go to my math class at about, I think it was 10:30 in the morning. So I would go to that, and then right after that class, I would go see our athletic trainer, Naoto, which, by the way, he's one of the coolest athletic trainers I've ever met. And he got me on this arm program because I was starting to have some arm issues. So the arm program pretty much just consisted of various arm stretching routines and strengthening with resistant bands, and I was using some weights. He gave you massages and stuff like that. And then after that, I head down to the field about 30 minutes before practice and take some swings in the cage just to kind of warm up. I'd swing at probably about start off at 20%, then go up to 50%, then go up to 70%, and that was about like the highest percentage that I would put into effort in my swing. And then we go to practice. Practices would vary. Sometimes we'd have batting practice or defensive drills that would usually last for probably like 2 hours, and then after that, I would head on over to the gym and I'd lift for a little while. Just, something to keep me busy and something that would help me feel like I accomplished things. And then I'd head back to the house. Usually on my way, I'd stop at this local Safeway supermarket and I get like a bite to eat. I noticed that I don't really shop ahead of time, especially like, while I'm in college, which I kind of want to do a better job of, is being able to, have a meal plan and be prepared and going out and, buying the things that I needed so that I wouldn't have to constantly go to the supermarket every once in a while. But yeah, so that's kind of usually what my day-to-day progress would be. And that lasted for about, I think we were in school for 3 months. But yeah, that was cool. I worked my butt off and I was able to secure the starting spot in right field. And I mean, things were going pretty good, like my hard work was really paying off. Like, I mean, I worked my butt off, and then COVID-19 hit. Now, this is crazy because we're pretty much living in history right now. Like, this is going to be in books. People are going to be studying about this time for years to come. Like the pandemic of COVID-19. For some of those that don't really know what this is, basically in China there was a disease that broke out, and it eventually just kind of went all over the world. I know Italy got hit extremely hard. Europe got hit pretty hard. Obviously, China was hella fucked up, but eventually it made its way to the States, and already a bunch of states have been closed, including California. I know New York got it hit really bad. Currently, Chicago is hit extremely bad. And basically, this is a brand new virus, and we don't really have any antidotes or anything like it. So the whole country is just it was shut down. I mean, because of the virus, our season ended up getting canceled after I think we played 5, 6, 7 games. I don't know. Just don't quote me on it. But we only played like a handful of games, and we didn't even make it to conference yet. And then the virus hit, and it pretty much called like all college, all professional athletics. They just shut down, and it was really shitty, And so I mean, I kind of just didn't really have all of our classes at school. They all went online, so pretty much there was no reason for me to even be back up north. Like, I could just come on home. But I don't even know if coming home was a mistake or not. But that's a whole nother different story we can get into another episode. But pretty much, yeah, I made the 9-hour drive back home to Southern California, and now I'm back at my house, just doing my thing. I got a job. I was home for about a month, just kind of like, just thinking of things to do, trying to stay busy, being creative. That's when I released episode 4, but I kind of felt like, I'm just kind of wasting my time. And so I decided to apply to Walmart, and luckily they called me back. I went in for an interview, and I'm just starting my 4th week working for the company. And, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. I mean, it is a job. I'm putting money in my pocket, which feels really good, but it kind of just like gave me a really grander scheme of things, like a better perspective. Because when I was attending, school, I mean, school it wasn't really something that I was very passionate for, but now that I'm working at a retail job, it just kind of makes me appreciate the system of education, even though I think the education system is very twisted and messed up in many ways, just based off my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, a degree does weigh a ton, especially in, having a better life, a better future, and being financially more stable, and just being happier, I guess. So yeah, this kind of motivates me to really, keep pursuing my educational career and just make it in that aspect. But anyways, like I was saying, yeah, I got hired as a self-checkout host, which at the front of the store, they have all these self-checkout machines. So I kind of just walk up and down the aisles. If people need to delete an item, I'll just go over there, type in a code, and they'll be good. Or if they have questions about some products, like maybe some products they don't have any tags, I go over and I help them out. Or I kind of just restock the bags, just make sure the area is nice and clean, wipe down some of the machines. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I got to do it for 8 hours every shift. I go to the work for 9 hours, but I get a 1 hour lunch break, and that lunch break I don't get paid for. It's just kind of a break. So yeah, I work 8 hour shifts. I've been averaging about 35 hours a week. So, it's good money, but I mean, I'll tell you one thing, it's like some of these days it's been a little hard to get up and get out and go to work, but I mean, shit, I've been doing it. And, with my paycheck, I try to split it up so I can put 50 away into my savings account, which is pretty much going to pay for my tuition and my books. And then I want to put 20% into a traveling fund, because me and my girlfriend, we really like to go out and travel. We want to go, to different countries and different states and stuff like that. So I put a little bit of money aside for that. So, for our future, we can go out and do things. And then the other 30% is just pretty much my spend money. But I really try not to spend as much as I can. I mean, especially right now, with the whole COVID-19 thing, like many restaurants and things are closed. So there isn't really much to be spending my money on other than gas. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to rack up as much money as I can. So, when the time comes, I can just drop that paycheck, treat myself and treat others around me. But yeah, I mean, shoot. As far as what's been going on in my life, that's really it. Transferred schools. The COVID-19 came and just pretty much ended my baseball season. So I drove back down to Southern California, where I'm resided right now. I picked up a job, and I'm working towards just fucking having a good time, I guess. But yeah, and I'm also looking into changing my major from business to kinesiology, because fitness and health is really kind of something I'm very interested in. I started fitness Instagram called Attaboy Migs. That you can find me on Instagram, and I just post like good workout videos and stuff like that because I just have a really big passion for staying in shape. And so yeah, that's one thing that I'm going to be looking forward to doing next semester. But yeah, it's summer 20, and we're all stuck inside during this quarantine, and yeah, that's life for Miggy as of right now. To end this podcast, to kind of keep things on a positive note, you heard about my struggle being up north, away from my family, away from all my friends, and pretty much everything that was very comfortable to me. And I ended up being homeless for a couple of days, and I spent the rest of my semester sleeping on my teammate's couch, under the radar. I mean, shoot, man, life has been crazy, but man, I can't stop but just count all my blessings day by day. I mean, just the fact that I had a place to stay, even though I was sleeping on the couch, but the fact that I had a place to stay, I mean, I'm just more than blessed to be able to have that. The chance that I got to play, I'm the first person in my family to play college baseball. Matter of fact, any collegiate sport, like that's already history in the making, and I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity, and that I'm healthy and I'm physically capable of achieving what I'm achieving, and I'm ready to achieve even more. I'm not gonna stop until I can't go on any longer, or I'm laying in my grave. So I'm gonna be pumping out these podcasts as much as possible, and thank you to all my listeners that have been tuning in to listen to what I got to say, and I hope everybody has a good rest of the day. All right, take care. Baby girl, I'm so proud of you. So proud. Love that you don't give a fuck and do what you do. How did it all fall into place? I haven't got a clue. No way. Baby girl, you best believe I'm happy you my boo. So happy. Throughout the day.